Hello and welcome to this plan showcase video. This time we are taking a look at the original plans of the Fordow Bunker complex, which is a nuclear enrichment facility located in Iran, a little south of Tehran. A little disclaimer at the start: this is a technical video and has nothing to do with any politics, just the interesting topic of showing the everlasting race between defensive structures versus offensive armament. I also have a lot of other interesting projects going on, and getting these original plans and making this video is a lot of work, so thank you very much for considering a free subscription. It really helps. And enough talk, let's move on. So here we can see a high resolution satellite image of the entire facility enclosed by a security perimeter, the 3 entrance tunnels and a big white support building mostly used as a warehouse. The interesting parts and the actual bunker lies deeply buried underground, about 80 to 90 meters. And to take a look at that, here is one of the original construction plans overlaid on this satellite image. Since these construction plans are also drawn in scale, I could find out the exact location and then reconstruct the bunker based on the original dimensions and measurements mentioned in these plans. And now, with all of these documents and informations, I was able to create this very detailed plan of the entire bunker complex. On this floor plan here, we can see the 3 entrances leading into the bunker. These are about 270 meters long. The most important part of the bunker is the main hall in the very back, which is 250 meters long, 13 meters wide, and about 320 to 330 meters inside the mountain. This hall here is also the most protected and deepest location of the entire complex, with a very thick reinforced concrete ceiling, and it is also about 80 to 90 meters under the hard rock terrain. Now let's take a closer look for a basic overview on the main compartments and how everything works here. So here we have 2 access tunnels coming from the 3 entrances, the recreation and office rooms, next up a ventilation, autocalves area and machinery spaces, followed by the main control rooms. Then we can see the power supply room with storage spaces in the very back. These rooms here are for the pre-enrichment stages, the lower room for the depleted uranium, and in the very back the 250 meter long and 13 meter wide centrifugal or cascade hall. This here is the most protected part of the bunker, with a very thick reinforced concrete ceiling, shock and earthquake safe floor, and it is here where the uranium is enriched. To give you a very simple explanation on how this works, you take uranium ore, turn it into a gas called UF6, put it into centrifuges that spin to separate U-235 from U-238 based on their different masses. Then the slightly enriched gas is drawn off and fed into the next centrifuge, repeating this process multiple times to enrich the desired level of enrichment. And now the enrichment is measured by how high the percent of U-235 is compared to U-238. So in this system, we move the gas from the very right to the left. The next rooms here then are used for the UF6 gas storage, and as the last stage in the process, the finished product is transported away from the facility. So this was the overview of the lower level, but there are also some hidden structures close to the surface shown on this floor plan of the upper levels. This building here is mostly used for ventilation and air filtering. The next one on the top here are support and supply structures. It can also be assumed that there is a redundant ventilation system as well as maybe an emergency exit. Now at this point we have seen all the floor plans, and my next step was to get a highly detailed SRTM terrain information to create these cross sections here. The cross section is running through the number 2 entrance, and this is also where the deepest part of the bunker complex is located. To get the exact room heights, I also used original construction plans, for example the entrance tunnel shown on the top left and the main bunker unit on the bottom. Now taking a look at the cross section in the middle, here we can see the entrances are already starting under the surface, leading deeper and lower into the bunker, so that the main hall at the very end is 90 meters under the highest point of the mountain ridge. With all this data, I was also able to create a very rough 3D model of the terrain and the bunker complex. Here on the left we can see entrance number 3, in the middle coming up entrance number 2, to the right entrance number 1, and the main support building here on the outside of the surface, which is mainly used as a warehouse. Now let's take a look under the surface. Here we can see the tunnels leading lower into the bunker facility, and on the top, very close to the surface, the ventilation and support buildings, also with some small shafts leading into the bunker facility. And here on the very back, the main protected part, the cascade and main hall. Here the ceiling is heavily reinforced concrete, and at the very end here 90 meters under the surface. Now a quick look again at the main bunker structure, then the tunnels, and now moving outside here, entrance number 3. Now this is basically the full circle, and we are now back where we started the 3D tour. So now in this video we have seen everything from this facility, and if you're interested on how much damage the bunker buster bombs used in Operation Midnight Hammer actually caused to this bunker complex, I will be doing a scientific battle damage assessment in my next video. And thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more plans or anything specific, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.